issues. It sucks.
Oh my god. It's good. Look, it's happening.
Are we live right now?
Yeah, you should.
What's up, addicts
No
out
error
there?
message.
Oh, where's the error message? No error message? We're live?
No error message.
We're live?
Perfect.
All right.
Hey, what's up, all you guys out there? Send us a comment. Let us know you're here.
We got
Is it
some
working,
people joining in.
everyone?
Thanks so much for bearing with us as every
Yeah.
single week we have technical difficulties.
We're out here in the boondocks, Marlon's garage.
Marlon's
You never can
Garage.
predict what's going to happen way
You
out in
never
these
can
parts.
predict. As always, you guys know we're trying to do these live feeds on YouTube now every week, as well as Facebook. So every week we're tuning in here on YouTube to talk fishing, and then we'll be on Facebook as well talking fishing. So
What's up, Derek? Nice steel hats you posted a couple days ago. Looked like a pretty good weekend.
yeah, you
Productive
got some
weekend.
tanks.
Steel
Got
hats.
some
Is
nice
that
ones?
is that the plural for steel hats?
I was steel hats.
I like
I
it.
was jealous. They
Yeah.
looked all very
Oh, he says
pretty
just
and
booked a
nice.
trip with Jordan.
Oh, why'd you do
Yes,
that?
sir.
Why did you do that? It
Yes, sir.
Your arm will get tired.
Hey, as always, guys, please share this out there to your social media feeds if you can, and tell people to come subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are trying to get to 30,000 subscribers in a short amount of time, and
Keep
you
it
guys are the ones
happening.
helping us do it. So it's crazy how fast it's growing and how many anglers we're getting to join the channel, and we're going to just keep feeding as much education and content as we can to you guys. So keep supporting us, and we'll keep making it.
Keep clicking.
Yep.
Keep on clicking there. What's up from Toronto? Jeez, got some
Everywhere.
people firing in here.
What's it
Yo,
like
yo,
up in
yo.
Toronto these days?
Yeah, let's see here.
Tonight, everyone, we're going to be talking some Springer fishing. I think we
Yeah.
just got some announcements, right, Cam, for the season and
Right.
what's going to happen there. So we got Eric Swanson tonight from Eric Swanson Outdoors, and we'll have Cam and him and Jordan in here just talking about Springer fishing and the seasons. We probably won't go as in-depth on the YouTube side of things, so make sure you come over to the
Yeah.
Facebook page and hang out on there.
We'll breeze the seasons, but we're going to talk on the Facebook page. We're going to talk like some strategies and just kind of the thought processes that are going to go into that. You know, talk about some snowpack, water conditions, areas to fish, areas you can't fish, what's probably going to happen, unfortunately. But before I go into that,
Cameron's guesstimate.
I'm just
That's-
ready to like to start screaming. But no.
Yes.
To kick things off, guys, thanks again, as always, everyone that tuned in to watch. We got a little prize pack here from ProCare. We got some Wizard Kokanee Killer Corn Magic,
Whoa.
some Salmon Slammer scent, and then some of their new Rooster Tail spray. This is Trophy Bass, but they have them in a million different scents to choose from, so check them out. I've been using them for steelhead. They have a crawdad spray. It's just butter
Ooh.
spinners and spoons and stuff. It's just
Ooh,
convenient.
why not?
It's just nice. It's just convenient.
I'm going to have to try that.
Anyway, so we're going to give you an opportunity to win this. We'll have Clint pick someone randomly from the comments in the background. If you guys can just share this feed out there, tell your family and friends to come talk fishing with Addicted. And,
We got a lot to talk about tonight.
Super chat.
oh yeah, Clint's always making me tell you guys about the Super Chat.
Super
Sorry.
Chat.
If you guys don't know what Super Chat is, a little button down there. If you guys have a comment or a question that you absolutely want to make sure that gets answered, sometimes there's 200-300 people in here watching and we don't get to all the questions. So if you Super Chat it, it'll highlight that question up. Just allows you to donate a little bit of money to Addicted and to our cause and what we're trying to do here to build a badass angling community. And so we appreciate any of the support that you guys want to offer us. So if you do want to Super Chat, that's what it's for. Little $ symbol down below. That's all we're going to say about that. Thanks for the support. Share it out there. Win yourself some ProCare stuff. Swanson, why don't you come on in, dude? And you're the master on Springers. I'm not. So we're going to let these guys talk.
So we got some guys from Spain, Muskegon River.
Man,
Where is the
Muskegon.
Muskegon. Where's Muskegon?
I think it's in Minnesota.
I don't think we can talk river names though. So
No.
that, ban
but
him off the
that-
page.
yeah,
He's
no.
gone.
Well, he might just be talking about the town.
Oh sure. Where's my prize pack, Derek? Yeah, message Mike. Exactly. Good. Very good. And then I did see Asher, you bought some Addicted Worms and Winter Chrome Blend scent. The scent changed the game 100%. Elaborate, please.
Yes.
Just curious, as always. 'Cause
Yes.
it seems to work pretty good.
I love it.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know how I'd live without it.
It definitely helps. Definitely helps. So who's going bull trout fishing? Who's going, like, that's not this weekend, it's next weekend, right? Marlon? Bull trout fishing? Someone just asked, who's going bull trout fishing? I thought you guys were going bull trout fishing.
Oh, dude, I don't know.
All right. I didn't know either. I wasn't here last week. We were gone. Anyways. Okay.
Justin
So-
Van.
Ban them all. Ban them all.
Justin.
Green Bay. Yeah. Hooked on Garden Frugal. Yep, we love our brothers at Garden Frugal.
He's deleting it. He's getting.
All right, guys. Okay, so let's talk some springers. I'll get off the chat here.
Yeah.
So today.
What's the big news?
So today they came out with, for those of you guys that are spring Chinook fishermen here in the Northwest, Washington and Oregon, this is pertaining to you guys. They came out with the seasons on what they're gonna basically go forward with. I mean, we are once again coupled with a very tougher return.
Yeah.
But a return that still yields us, I think, what was it, like 3,500 or 3,800 fish with counting the buffer.
Correct.
So at least a decent fishery. I mean, that's a lot. I mean, 3,800 springers is a lot to catch. Springer fishing around here is definitely like, for those of you guys that don't know or tuning in from elsewhere, it's basically a salmon that shows up in the spring but still spawns in the fall. So the nuts and bolts means is that the fish show up and they're super fatty, they're super oily. Sometimes they yield $40, $50, $60 a pound. For the very, very few of them that are caught commercially, they can be very, very expensive fish, and they are extremely sought after. So
they're expensive for anglers too.
They're expensive. These are a type of fish. They're expensive for anglers too. That's absolutely correct. These are a type of fish they don't even have up in Alaska. I don't think they have a spring Chinook run. They do target them out in the ocean, but like these ones actually come
feeders.
So with that said, they put on that fat and oil. They make them the most desirable eating fish, and so people go crazy for them. But they gave us our season.
Yes.
Generally, we fish the lower Columbia from Bonneville Dam all the way out to the ocean, but this year, due to some low returns going into some of the southwest Washington tributaries, they've decided to close it from the Warrior Rock line down to the mouth. There will be no spring Chinook fishing, and I do believe it is close to steelhead as well. I think all angling.
Right, and that's huge.
That's a huge thing. That's going to change the dynamics of the fishery.
Big time.
That's nearly, almost 30 miles of river, correct?
It's more like 60.
70.
Yeah, 60, 70. Yeah,
It's a long stretch.
All the way
and
down
honestly,
to
a
the breakers.
huge chunk, because as these fish are coming in from the ocean, a lot of the guys, fishermen and guides, will migrate downriver and head them off. And there's a lot of good productive areas of fishing, and we're talking, for us out here, it is thousands of boats, thousands upon thousands. People take vacation, and it goes nuts. Yes. So I tell you what, it's gonna be a total change of things. However, there's gonna be a lot of fish that are gonna make it. One thing with this fishery is we've only got about 100,000 projected to go above Bonneville Dam, but we do have 50,000 or so, I think just short of that, right?
Something 40-50.
50,000 projected to go into the Willamette River tributary, or the Willamette River, which is a tributary of the Columbia, for those who don't know. But the line where the fish can cut off to go in there is going to be unimpeded by this closure. So in other words, those fish are going to come from the ocean, and they're going to either get into the Columbia River where we can start targeting them, or they're going to branch off and go into that Multnomah Channel unimpeded. They're never going to see a herring. They're never going to see a flatfish. They're never going to see a killer fish.
Yeah.
It's going to be real interesting to see. Now, as we all know, it's also going to bring the crowds. And I don't blame those people, even though they're fishing now in my backyard.
Right.
I mean, this is the classic argument of the soccer field. And
it's going to change our game.
Right.
It's going to change our game big time.
Right. So what's your thoughts on it? I mean, you're out there grinding them just it's like, what's Eric Swanson's plan?
Oh, man. I think so. Obviously, what you just said, none of these fish we're going to be fishing for are going to be molested up until basically you and I are cutting them off. So hopefully, they're all going to be biters and it's going to be good. But we're gonna have to change it up and try and get away from the people, I think, because obviously you get a whole bunch of boats in one area, those biters get picked off pretty quick.
Yeah, they get
so
beat on
either
too.
we're going to have to, like you said earlier, anchor up, or we're going to have to find some nooks and crannies to target.
Well, with the Willamette and the high snowpack that we're starting to see, do you think the Willamette will fish as well throughout the most of the season? And the Columbia could be extremely high too. I know you preach conditions most of all, more than numbers.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to conditions because
Exactly.
where I'm fishing for most of my springers, I need the water cold, and it actually impeded me a lot in the past year. And for the big river, as they come up, turbidity and temperature is going to be huge. So what's that do to the Willamette?
Well, as long as the turbidity is good.
So I've seen situations, not in recent years, but I'd say, I'm thinking, because I still in my Koffler, and I switched over to my Alumaweld like 9 years ago. And I remember that first year I had my Alumaweld, we had a situation where where the Willamette blew out so much mud that basically anything below the Willamette was absolutely 100% like not fishable. Yeah, there was probably some guy smacking one in 4 feet of water on a KF-15. Right. But what I'm trying to say is the Columbia will still remain green. And I just remember where that mud line was. I'm not going to really spill too much of that information. But basically you had that situation where the lower Columbia was unimpeding these fish at all. I mean, not picking them off or anything like that.
Right.
And they forecast for the... I'll get to that in 1 second. But... we had the same situation where basically there was no fishing below, but right when those fish hit the green water, it was the best Springer bites I think I've ever laid eyes on.
And I think we're gonna see a lot of that this year.
But it's interesting. The numbers aren't as good,
right?
But you're right. I don't know. It'll be real interesting. But if the Columbia, the main stem blows out or gets tough, it's going to turn into the shooting gallery fisheries. Our guys are going to anchor up. It's going to be tough.
But I think one big thing this year that's going to separate the men from the boys is the guys who know how to anchor fish.
And where.
And where. Yeah. Exactly. I think you're going to have to be very versatile this year to have good days.
We've got a big snowpack too, or at least a snowpack that's getting bigger.
Yeah. Getting bigger by the day.
Yep. So I saw we got a super chat there. It says, Cam, any word on the forecast for the target-rich north? I am not familiar at all. Vulcan, EZ, I am not familiar at all with those spring Chinook numbers to any degree. So, unfortunately, I cannot, and I don't think, what I'm thinking they're talking about are like some of those spring Chinook runs that maybe occur a little more northern in Washington.
Okay. Right.
Kind of
some of the more tributary.
Yeah, more the tributary peninsula stuff. But I couldn't tell you if they get 100 fish back or 50,000.
Right.
I just don't. It's hard to go there when I have spring Chinook at the boat ramp 2 miles from my house.
Yeah.
You know
what I mean? It's hard to go away from what works.
So yeah, it's unfortunately I don't really know on that one. Yeah. Maybe Ryan would know. Maybe our buddy Ryan Hendricks. Maybe message Ryan Hendricks. He's numbers on episode 24. Yeah,
24 and 25.
24 and 25. Start there.
Yeah.
But other than that, I'm sorry, bud. So what about Southwest Washington tribs that are still open? So let's touch on that before we slip over to the Facebook. There's one that's still open, and I think I'm just gonna go ahead and drop some river names here, just because people should know.
Yeah.
Ban me. Go ahead.
Cam.
But when we're talking Southwest Washington tribs, you're talking the Cowlitz, the Lewis, and the Kalama. The Kalama is still going to be open for one fish as of March 1. However, the other 2 rivers are going to close, but they will remain open for steelhead. So open for hatchery steelhead, closed for any kind of spring Chinook retention. Figure I'll say that. That's out there publicly. People should know.
Right.
So
I agree.
Not really. So yeah, that's a pretty dramatic change too in those tributaries, just because that's
gonna take a lot of people.
It's gonna take a lot of people, because some of those tributaries, and the reason why that Columbia is closed the way it is to protect those fish going back into those tributaries. Right. So they're not letting us.
Get them full bar, yeah.
They're not letting us fish those at all, and then obviously above the Columbia River where those fish all turned off and it's open season. So. Yeah, so we got another super chat from Tommy Weller. Hi, when
Thank
do
you, Tommy.
springers start, and what's the best way to fish them at
Clackamas?
Beep.
At beep. So that's right there at the OC.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I'd say probably, I guess, is he
Depends
in the boat or is he on the bank?
Exactly what I was gonna ask.
So, yeah. Tommy Weller, are you on the boat or in the bank?
Well, Tommy Weller, we'll talk about that. Best time, so generally, even though there's been fish caught already,
right.
That's been in the paper, I think we can probably say that out here without
right.
blowing the world up, but there's been fish caught already before the Willamette blew out. And, yeah, so that, depending on if you're bank fishing or boat fishing, there's opportunity there, but one key thing about that opportunity there is sometimes, don't go too crazy, Don't go too crazy hard in March.
Oh, yeah.
And burn yourself out for May and even into early June. So there's opportunity there. So springers have technically started. Obviously, the water's real muddy now, and it's probably going to be a while. There's a place you can look, and there's a place you can look if you Google Willamette turbidity, and you can see the graph and see what basically the mud flow is.
Right.
Anything 13, 12, and under, there's some guys that do different numbers, but anything 13, 12, and under is pretty fishable,
right?
Or at least getting there. So check that out. And but yeah, it is going now, but it's a long season.
But I would say like if you're gonna if you're gonna target like a 4-week period in that Willamette, I would do like the 3rd week of April through like that 3rd week of May.
Yeah,
it's kind of
the
and then
true
obviously,
springtime.
And
right.
Yep. And one last thing too is you also have an Oregon City Falls count. You also have a little bit of a count that you can kind of pay attention to, and as those numbers ramp up, you can start going to the river.
Exactly.
Yep. Yeah. Let's see here.
Someone wants your number.
Wants my Ryan Cordova. I'll message you my number, or it's I hope you're right. I hope you got a pen. It's 360-921-5079. There you go. Let's see here. Go down. I think we got. What are you doing? Oh, so much. I guess Marlon's just taking that over. Sal, there is a turbidity gauge for the Columbia as well. It's based in Vancouver, but I don't know of any other turbidity gauges.
No. I just use the Vancouver one.
Yeah, Vancouver. So yeah, you can just Google search that. So. This will be an interesting plunking season, and we're going to be talking about that, Scott, on our Facebook.
Yes,
so I think we probably need to get over there pretty well. We got 5 minutes. We got a few more minutes. Okay. So anyways, yes, sir. So it will be an interesting plunking season. I know Swanson's going to go over some of the setups, and then we're going to talk about maybe other opportunities that that's why we got Jordan sitting here.
Yeah.
Too. So there'll be some. Yep. Sal, how do we guys feel about the proposed 15% increases in licenses?
I never like license increases.
But what I've been told over a few different spectrums is that these things are planned out over like a 10-year period. So this isn't like a plan that was made last year. Yeah. They plan these like extended increases in license cost just to pay for the inflation on anything in the world. I'd like to see a little more. I mean, I'd like it increased a little bit more if we could get more fish.
Right, I wouldn't mind paying another.
That.
I mean, if we could increase it by 50% and get 50% more fish back.
Yep.
I'd pay $5,000 for
right.
that.
I think we all would, but I definitely understand, the concerns from people when the licenses keep going up and our opportunities keep going down.
And they see the opportunity going down, and this little blow to the Columbia fishery, I think, is going to really. But
it's one more kick in the shin after a really bad 2018.
It's not a kick in the shin; it's a full-blown punt to the balls.
Yeah,
so,
big time.
And
that
fish,
two punts.
Yeah, kicking while he's down.
A flying monkey.
But hey, we got to deal with it. I'm at least fortunate. I at least feel fortunate though that we at least have a fishery.
Yes,
it could be worse. It could be before 2000,
where
we were not even fishing the Columbia River at all, except for the bubbles and Anyways, either way. So with that said, let's see here.
I saw a good question. Let's see a plunking setup. Do we have time for that, guys? So we could just run through a basic one, just real quickly.
Run through it real quick.
We don't have to go over knots or anything, but.
Michael Coleman. So until April 1, I'm doing $200 a person. After that, everything's going to $225. I'm gonna finally bite the bullet and jack my prices up on my customers I've had for 15 years. I know. I'm sorry. Maybe Oregon didn't charge me $2,600 for my license. I might have thought it otherwise.
Yeah. All you Oregon residents are going to pay for that.
Yeah. If you live in Oregon, it doubled. Just kidding.
Sir, what's your address?
I guess I'd go there, though, so I don't know. Yeah. Good stuff.
Get out of your way. Go ahead.
Let's see. Of course, it's going to get all snagged up.
It's in my eye. Let's see here.
Wow.
Right,
Inflation.
For a second.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, at the end of the day, like, people cry about their I mean, gosh, it's like, let's just say a license costs $100, right? Your license $100. What's the state budget? Doesn't it usually cost about $1 a smolt, right, for the states to produce? Now we're talking states, not tribes, states. But I've heard that it's like $1 a smolt.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
So you catch one hatchery fish at a 1 to 2% return. Okay, let's say you catch two. You've already overdone what you put in. And that's just for the fish. That's not for the checkers. That's not for I mean, all the other things that go into the Fish and Wildlife Department, I don't know what they do. I mean, they don't. I'm just kidding.
Well, if you think about it, if you catch a 15-pound
Yeah.
springer, you get 7 pounds of fillets off it. If you're gonna buy those fillets, they're gonna be like $25 a pound, so you're already ahead right there with one fish.
Yeah. What's that? I'm sorry.
Oh, I was saying if you catch one springer and you get
Yeah.
7 or 8 pounds of fillets at $25, $30 a pound,
Right.
you're already way ahead.
So like the guys that I mean, yeah, we see license increases, but I think some people kind of need to realize like, okay, this is kind of what we're getting,
Right.
getting back a little bit. And for those guys that go out and gloat, oh, I filled up 4 punch cards this year. Oh, they're raising my licenses $12. Damn it! It's like,
Yeah.
okay,
Oh,
come on.
hatchery tag went up
Yeah.
$10.
Hatchery tag went up $10.
Yeah.
I don't get it. And at the end of the day, like I said, I think as
resource.
lifestyles, as far as like us being fishermen, like I think a lot of people would pay more, but
Right.
they want to see those results back.
Yeah.
Anyways, we got another. We have a boat and stuff. Do you ever shad fish? Where I said earlier, and rate steelhead this year 1 to 10. Holy crud, Tommy! Let's see here. How many
That's
did you
a three-part
catch?
question.
He supports us.
He support. Oh, Tommy. Yes, I have shad fish there, but usually I fish down a little lower. I said earlier, and rate steelhead this year. I haven't seen. Have you seen anything on summer steelhead numbers? Oh wait, you mean like for winter steelhead?
Yeah, like rate it. What's the season been like for you guys? Each of you guys rate it 1 to 10.
Just started.
I'd say 5.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I'd say 5 or 6.
A hard 6.
It just started.
Yeah, 5, hard 6. But
It just started.
I might. This week's been. I'll just say this week's been decent. It's not. It ain't crazy, but. I might
decent
change
is-
that rating. I might change that rating depending if we get some wild fish. Right now, I'm kind of hopeful that I'm gonna see some more.
Yeah.
Just gonna leave it at that. But it's been a tough year. I had a guy out today who's never caught a steelhead and has been trying, and
Did you get him one?
got him 3.
Well, there you
The
go.
one, yeah. So
how can you say it's a
there-
5? That should instantly bump
because
up like at least
we
a
had-
6.5.
we had
a
a
guy
perfect
that likes averages.
because here's the deal. No, because here's the
averaging it
deal.
out.
Because we had a little water spike and it helped, and it's gonna fall back down.
Says a 10.
It's
He
gonna
says a
fall
10.
right back down. And guess what? Well, he doesn't have to do it 7 days a week. Lucky bastard.
He just goes and plays with
He
them the
just
rest
goes
of the
and lets
time.
them stack and sluices them. But it's gonna fall right back down. And those conditions, I'm not gonna see those same conditions, and I'm gonna be scratching. I'm gonna be looking.
Yes, Sal. You
It's
do.
tough. It's tough. Tommy, if that didn't answer all your questions, just message me, man.
All right, plunking
All right,
setup, real
plunking
quick,
setup, real
guys.
quick.
We
All
have to
right.
run.
All right, guys. So let's talk rod and reel real quick. So when you're plunking, you want to use a fairly long rod, so because the setup is fairly long and you don't want to be dragging your stuff through the sand. So I prefer a 10.5 foot rod, 50-pound braid. Braid's awesome. It has no stretch, super durable. That's that.
Cuts through
So,
the water. You don't have to
yes.
use as much weight.
Super awesome. So down
What
here at the
about line
bottom.
counter?
Yes, line counter is awesome too because if you catch a fish, you want to try and get your stuff right back in the same spot. So down here at the bottom end, I have a spreader that I attach my weight to. Then I have a snap swivel with about 23, 24 inches of 20-pound mono down to my spinning glow. Then coming up from that bottom spreader, I have 24 inches of 50-pound mono to a bead chain. And on that bead chain, I have another snap swivel. And what that snap swivel does is it allows that spinning glow, when you cast it out there, to rotate 360 degrees as everything's kind of flying through the air and it doesn't get tangled up. And then from that, I have about
fishy.
20 inches down to another spinning glow. And the really important thing here, guys, is you need to make sure that your middle spinning glow, the leader is shorter than the piece of mono from that bead chain down your swivel, or else this could potentially get wrapped up in your weight and you'll be instantly tangled. So going up from that middle bead chain, I have 3 feet of 50-pound to a small swivel and an 8mm bead. So what I'll do is I'll cast this whole setup out there, and then I'll have my Brad's killer fish tied to a 3-foot piece of mono with a dual lock snap on it, and then I'll snap that dual lock on my main line, and I'll walk upstream, and I'll work that killer fish down, and what'll happen is that dual lock will stop on this bead, and then all your stuff will be working perfectly and not getting tangled. So I've plunked for a long time, and I've done a million different ways with spreader bars and all sorts of stuff, and less is way more in this scenario. This low-key never gets tangled. I probably haven't tangled once in 5 years fishing this setup. It's super simple.
I want to do that with like kind of adapt that to a bunch of different styles of fishing.
You
That's
could
a really
do-
fishy little
yeah, you
idea
could-
right there.
You could definitely do it a million different ways.
So quickly, before we leave YouTube, what are you looking for when you're looking for plunking water?
So you definitely want to
Mud.
get. You want to. Well, so that's kind of true. When
The
you're
right
plunking,
conditions.
you want higher water because you want those fish to be close to the bank, and also you want to be fishing close to a ledge where those fish are going to be running. If you're fishing like a big 10-foot flat for 100 yards out in front of you, the fish could be anywhere. So you want to target somewhere where the fish are going to be kind of fun.
That's where you just use your boat and you just run your line out 100 yards.
Yeah, well, yeah.
We don't got enough time
yeah,
for that
no,
one.
we love those type of people. But if you're going to target a certain spot,
I like that idea.
try and get close to a ledge. And if you do have a boat, which a lot of people have boats and they go and they go to an island or something, but try and find a spot where you're close to a ledge where there's going to be more fish traveling through.
I like that idea. Sal's like, let's do an addicted life plunking, which would actually be kind of fun to do.
It could be, yeah.
Just you do an early plunk day. It'd be
Yes,
good.
it
Good
would
idea.
be. Awesome.
Yeah.
But
And like I said, higher conditions, more current. Like the key is current.
oh yeah,
Like even in low water conditions, there are spots that have more current. And I feel like spring Chinook are just like any other fish or human, fat, lazy. They want to take the path of least resistance.
exactly.
So whenever you have any kind of those points or any kind of banks where the current's flowing fast against that bank, and anything that's going to push those fish in, because last year early in the season, we were bouncing. I mean, I looked at my journal. And on March 12th, I was trolling springers in 45 feet of water.
Yeah.
We had a real stagnant, real low Columbia, of course, as the flows and the runoff started coming up. Shoot, by the end of the season, we were fishing 10, 12 feet.
Yeah.
Back trolling plugs and
Yeah.
muddy water. So it's going to change. You can't just run one program. You got to play the conditions. But
You got to
like I said,
be
look at that current.
You got to be versatile.
Yep.
Yeah.
Look at that
Got to be
current.
versatile, and you got to think how the fish think.
Yeah. All right. I think we are going to. I can't see. So. Oh, we have a winner. Oh, Boneyard Bassin. What did he win? Oh, he won the prize pack. That's right. The Rooster Tail
Nice.
Procure
You
prize.
got the bass.
Thank you, Procure,
Trophy
very
bass
much.
spray, brother.
Got some bass. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
no kidding.
yeah.
There you
About
go.
to catch a state
Email
record.
Orders at addicted.fish.
What's that now?
Email.
Yeah, so go. Boneyard Bassin, email orders at addicted.fishing and email us, and we will get that out to you. Congratulations. For those of you guys that don't know, real quick, be sure to check out our Addicted Life series on YouTube. We got 27 episodes now, and don't forget to subscribe. Hit that button and tell all your friends and family to subscribe, or bad luck fishing will come your way.
Oh,
So
yeah,
it's
you've
going to
been
be
cursed.
terrible. It's going to be terrible. All right, guys. So for those, we are going to zip off to the Facebook channel. We're going to probably talk a lot longer, a lot more in depth.
Yep.
We're probably going to have to rerun some of the stuff we talked about with the seasons, but we think it's important to do it. And we will see you guys there.
See you guys over there.
Guys.
Later.